If you've never thought of using your slow cooker to create a gourmet meal for your guests, it's time to think again. I'm Sarah Mock from howipinchapenny.com, and I'm here to show you how Kraft Recipe Makers can give you this mouth-watering meal of beef Burgundy straight from your slow cooker, worthy of your most distinguished guests. For this recipe, you are going to need 2 pounds of stew meat. I love stew meat because it is an inexpensive cut of meat, and with just a little bit of love and time in the crock pot, it becomes very tender and tasty. A pound of sliced mushrooms. These were pre-sliced from the grocery store. That saved me a little bit of time. I also have a pound of baby carrots. Once again, I got the baby ones versus the whole ones that I would have to cut and slice. 3/4 of a cup of dry red wine. Be sure to get a wine that you like because it's really tasty when you serve it with your meal. I have a 1/4 cup of flour, a bay leaf, 2 tablespoons of chopped chives. The recipe calls for parsley, but I'm not a parsley person, so I did chives. 1.5 cups of white rice, and of course your Kraft Recipe Makers New England pot roast kit that comes with a simmer sauce and a finishing sauce. Here's an added tip from me to you. Toss the stew meat with the flour. And then you're going to sear it in a hot pan with a drizzle of olive oil. This gives it great color and seals in the juices of the stew meat. If you don't have time for this step, do not panic. Just toss the stew meat with the flour. Place the flour-coated meat in the slow cooker. Your beef Burgundy will be just as delectable. Once you've tossed your meat with the flour, you're going to take it over to a hot pan. Once you are at your hot pan, you're going to give it a little drizzle of olive oil. Swirl it around to coat. And then we're going to put in our meat. This will brown and sear. That will give it great caramel color and lock in those juices right before it goes into the crock pot. Once you have some good caramely color on the one side of the stew meat, you're going to want to turn it over with a pair of tongs and get the other side. Now that you're finished browning your stew meat, turn off the stove, take it to your slow cooker, pour it in. And then you're going to be adding your other vegetables. Your baby carrots, your mushrooms, your bay leaf, your red wine, and of course, the classic herb simmer sauce. The whole thing goes in, and you're going to set it on low for 8 to 10 hours or high for 4 to 6. I suggest giving it a stir to combine all the flavors, and when you come back, it is going to be delicious. 15 minutes before serving, cook rice according to the package directions. And we're going to use our farmhouse style brown gravy finishing sauce. Go ahead and pour it in, squeezing it all out. Stir to combine, and we're ready to serve. Now that you've created this wonderful meal with Kraft Recipe Makers and your slow cooker, it's time to pour a glass of wine, sit down, and enjoy.